My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Welcome, 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 and as Miss Doris reminds me every week, it's Tuesday. Glad to have you here. Hey man, we have a great show. Had a great morning with some fellas that I try to meet with every week. I'm not as successful as I'd like to. Some weeks I miss. But I'm a business mastermind of fellow Christians. I'm so grateful for them. So if any of you are watching, whether live or recording, I want you to know I really do love you. And I really appreciate everything you say to help me stay sharp. So we got a great show today. Today we are going to talk. It is actually National Anthem Day. The National Anthem Day. I had to look at that a couple of times to figure out what it is, but it is a day celebrating the national anthem. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about dirty faces. Dirty faces. We're going to talk about the Cup of Joe today. We're going to talk about reflection again, perspective, and getting the 30,000-foot view. So you got to stick around for that. And finally, our guest today is Kirby Smith, candidate for the District 3 Lake County Commission's race. Jay has brought this up, I believe, on the screen. Looking forward to interviewing him. And actually just had a cool pre-interview with him, found out some amazing things. One of the best things about this job is I get to meet people like this. So this is actually the beginning of South Lake TV's being your election headquarters. We're working on several projects for that. Tune in to Cup of Joe to see all the candidates in all the races here on South Lake TV, at least the ones that affect us in Lake County, South Lake, and in Florida. So with that said, we're going to hear from our sponsors. We're going to go to commercial break. We get back, we'll get started. See you in a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Check out these gourmet deals from Burger & Claremont, like our daily deals. Milkshake specials. Kids eat free. That's right, kids 10 and under eat free every Monday with purchase of an adult combo. Choose from delicious protein combos like beef, chicken, fish, veggie, and even the Impossible Burger. Milkshakes are buy one, get one free Monday through Friday from 2 to 5 p.m. Stop into Burger & Claremont today to take advantage of our daily deals, like the Monday Crispy Chicken Combo, the Tuesday Falafel Combo, the Wednesday Angus Beef Combo, and the Thursday Spanish Beef Combo. Gourmet deals from Burger & Claremont, located just off Highway 27 and the Epic Theater Shopping Plaza. Burger & millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
Hello, my name is Michael Singh with Singh Insurance and Financial Services. Our goal is to build trust based on a clear understanding of how your insurance policy protects you, your family, and even your business. When was the last time you took a good hard look at your insurance coverage? Would you be open to the possibility of reviewing your policy with me? One review of your policy can save you valuable time and money. Call me today to set up a review of what may be available to you.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. All right, welcome back. Look at me here trying to put my cup down and not make no noise because Jay said mic's up. I have my successes and I'll cling to them when I get them. As I make Jay laugh. I love making Jay laugh. It lets me know I'm doing something right. So, all right. Love to hear from Michael Singh. Great guy. Got to call him up, have him look at you. He will do a completely free audit of your policies to make sure that you are getting stuff done right. You should give him a call if you can. Actually, you should give them a call even if you can't. Make the time, set an appointment. And at our friends, Burger Room, friends of the show, friends of the station, we love them as sponsors because they get it. They came in early. They're taking advantage. They actually have specials this week. Today is the falafel special, $7.99. I'm not even quite sure how to describe falafel other than a meat substitute. I know back in the 80s when I became a deadhead, it was the preferred street food for all those vegetarians. I like trying stuff. I did kind of like it because of all the cool stuff they put on it. And, the taste of falafel actually brings me back to younger days when I had more hair and less body and could really, of course, I was also stupid about a lot of things. So in my ignorance was bliss. They also have BOGO shakes. Buy one, get one, 2 to 5, Monday through Friday on their handmade real ice cream milkshakes. Don't miss out on this. Now, unfortunately, Joe's not taking advantage of that special because he is in the Wellness Challenge. And he's going to have to stay away from, I might go get the falafel, but I'm not going to get the fries. I'm not going to get any shakes. So we'll talk about that later. All right, let's get started. It is National Anthem Day. You know what? I cannot sing the National Anthem without tearing up. I tried to do it in the car today on the way here. I just can't do it. It means so much to me. The national anthem because of the themes it talks about. I think, unfortunately, when I was a kid, we learned the national anthem in school. We started the day with the Pledge of Allegiance, prayer. We actually prayed, at least had a moment of silence. And then we did the national anthem and we did the Pledge of Allegiance. We sang the national anthem at every single school gathering. If you were a member of choir or any kind of singing thing, a class thing that was putting on a thing, you learn the national anthem. Do you teach your kids stuff like that? I taught mine. If you can't remember the words to the national anthem by rote, you should learn them because it says something about the cost of what you enjoy every day. War of 1812, not the Revolution. Many people make this mistake. Francis Scott Key wrote a poem, and he was looking at out of his personal experience, watching the British shelling Baltimore, a fort near Baltimore, that they felt the explosions as far away as Philadelphia. Think of this, 9-pound shells. 9 pounds. That's a heavy shell. Anyways, I don't want to go on to that too long. National Anthem Day. You want to celebrate the National Anthem? Do yourself a live video singing the National Anthem. Can you get through it? Can you sing it without looking up the words on Google? Even if you have to look up the words on Google, do it. All right. Dirty faces. As you may know, Joe's face is a little darker than before. This is a shot done for the play. I think Jay has a picture he'd love to embarrass me with, so we'll bring this up. This is me.
For the record, this was posted by Joe Carlisle on Joe Carlisle's Facebook page. So I don't know that I'm embarrassing him. I'm just making everybody aware.
Everybody aware. Let's make the entire world, not just my friends.
Hold on, let's make it even better.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
That's the next one. This is me taking a picture in character. This is my costume for the Farndale Avenue Ladies Dramatic Society does Macbeth. It is a wonderful play. As a matter of fact,
is that floral print on those glasses?
Yes, that is a floral print. I went out of my way to find those. Somebody else from the cast had a pair. They gave them to me. They worked just right. So I have dyed my beard. The hair will actually follow, although I don't know how much difference that's going to make because I don't have any. My children love to say I have a 5 head, not a 4 head. So, Miss Doris finds that terribly funny. They call me the Great Baldini. So, and I'm not bald. They got shaved heads. How am I the Great Baldini? Anyways, I hope you get out. As a matter of fact, next Monday, I have members of the cast coming here to talk about the show, and I'm going to do 3 of them in between the commercial breaks. We're going to play them out, talk to them for a couple of minutes. Should be a really fun show. Make sure you put that on your calendar to tune in. All right. Cup of Joe. I talked yesterday about perspective, about how going back to Dunklin really kind of reminded me of what the last 13 years has been like. It's funny. My wife had said, well, it's only been 12 years. I'm like, honey, it's almost April. I left this place in April of 2007, which means it's been 13 years. And she was like, wow, time does fly. I've had so much growth since then. And I think the real value of perspective is that 30,000 foot view. When you get some perspective, when you go reflect and see what your life has been like, you can get an idea, maybe not so much of the problem that's right in front of me. I can see the problem in relation to the rest of my life. And if that cup is my problem, it really is not the major thing, and this is my life. It's not the major thing on it. Heck, the coffee that I love so much is bigger than that. My phone is more complicated. My notes are more personal. The point is, you need to reflect. You need to get perspective. It's okay to take a time, whether it's a couple of hours once a week or once a month, whether it's a weekend during a year. I recommend setting aside time in your schedule so that you can get some real perspective, reflect on where your life is and where it's come from. You know what? I am not where I want to be, but I am not where I used to be. And that is a grand thing. At any rate, that's all I have to say about perspective. Tune in tomorrow. We will talk more about this subject. We are going to hear from our sponsors again, and I want to get as much time as I can for our next guest. We're going to try to be fair to all the candidates. Kirby Smith, District 3 candidate for the Lake County Commissioner. Tune in. He's going to come talk to us about his qualifications, some of the challenges that he sees for the county, and what some of his solutions are. So when we get back, we'll see him. See you in a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Okay, so Noah wasn't aware, but we decided that we're going to take Noah's braces off today, just a few weeks early. Noah, we're going to take your braces off.
Is that okay?
You okay with that?
Yeah.
For real?
When I came into the orthodontist today, I had no idea that my braces were going to be taken off.
Alright, you ready to do this? Okay, a little bit tight. I'm going to push on this tooth here, okay? Great job. He was in treatment for about a year just to fix some of the alignment of his upper and lower teeth. And yeah, we're just surprised him. Alright, are you ready to take a look? They look really, really good.
I finally get to feel what it feels like without braces anymore. I love my new smile and everything looks great.
Your CBD store Claremont provides a wide range of high-quality, full and broad-spectrum CBD products. Topical creams, tinctures, water solubles, edibles, and even CBD products for your pets. From soil to oil, your CBD store Claremont sources and provides third-party lab tests for all products so that you know exactly what you're getting. Stop by your CBD store Claremont today to speak with one of our knowledgeable staff members to find the right CBD product for you.
Are you tired of having drugs or alcohol ruin your life? Do you need to get off pain pills, but still maintain pain relief? My office in Tavares has programs to help you. While not covered by insurance, program fees are affordable. My name is Alan Zupkin. I'm board certified and have helped thousands of patients achieve these goals. Please call me for further information.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. And welcome back. I am so happy. Ooh, my chair went away with me there. I'm so happy to see this is the way it works, man. It's all fun and games until we go live. I am joined by Kirby Smith. Kirby, see, it's my fault too.
I can see where this is going.
You can see where it's going. All right. Lord, no more mistakes. How about that? All right. Kirby is actually running for Lake County Commissioner for District 3, which is one of the districts that covers a large part of South Lake County. Wanted to bring him on. His opponent is Wendy Breeden. She is the incumbent. We'll have Wendy on Friday. Kirby is a great guy as long as I have my glasses on. Kirby is the senior engineer. His last name is Smith, so when you go to the voting booth, you know who you're talking about. This is Kirby Smith. He is the senior engineering manager for CenturyLink, a local telecommunications company. He is the vice president of Triangle Construction and Development. He is the president of Gene Smith Properties Incorporated. He is a former fire rescue EMT for 5 years. And for the last 10 years, he has served on the Tavares City Council, serving as vice mayor and mayor during that time. Kirby, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
We actually really excited. You're our first candidate in this particular election cycle, so we're very grateful to have you on. Thank you for making time in what I'm sure is a super busy schedule.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you and the people outside.
All right. Tell us a little bit. Now, you're a native son, correct?
I am.
One of the companies you work for is actually owned by your dad, but you run it, or at least you help run it.
Right.
Tell us what it was like growing up here.
So I was born in Eustis and moved 3 miles to Tavares, where I live currently today. Raised my family there. Back before the freezes of 80s and 90s, the one thing I remember the most is the smell of the orange blossoms. It was absolutely intoxicating.
I've heard that before.
Oh, man, you would have loved it. Growing up in a small town of Tavares, my dad used to own a recycling center. So I got my start out as working with my hands, cutting metal when I was 12, welding when I was 14, crushing cars. So I got a good gist of what it's like to really work hard in the private industry.
Kind of like, it sounds like you kind of really had the experience of somewhat country life, maybe not urban,
Correct.
Somewhat rural, working in a family business. Right. And you've probably seen a lot of changes in that time.
There have been a lot of changes, for the positive. Our infrastructure is coming up. It's not where it needs to be, but it's coming up. All of our hospitality things that we enjoy now, before we used to have to go to Orlando to a nice, decent restaurant. Now it's just right around the corner.
Right.
So those are some of the amenities that growth gives you. While keeping a small town feel.
You know, what's really funny, my wife and I came here in 99 and moved to Leesburg. We were from, like, cities. Like, to us, country was like a suburb of a real city. And I can remember getting here, and it was 9:30 at night. We were in Leesburg. It was 9:30 at night. I could not find a place open on a Friday night to feed my children that wasn't a bar, right? It was like, what? Really? You mean McDonald's closes at 9? Because didn't know where anything was. Let me ask you this. Do you think it's harder? Well, actually, I'm going to save that question. What convinced you to run for office? Obviously, you were an adult when that happened.
Correct.
You grew up here. You went and got an education. You came back, raised your family here. What was it that spurred you to run for office?
What spurred me to begin with in the city of Tavares was I saw that the tax bases and the taxes they were putting on both residents and commercials were starting to creep up and get out of hand. I'm like, man, we can do better than this. We can fix some of our issues by streamlining government. We don't have to have a bloated government to run an efficient organization. So that's what got me involved. And That's what got me involved with it. And then it's also the drive and the passion to always do something greater than yourself. I like helping people. I want to help people of Lake County understand and be able to live a life with less taxes, first of all.
What was your occupation when you first ran? Was that when you were an EMT?
No, when I first ran, I was working for CenturyLink. I've been with CenturyLink for 27 years. So I was working with CenturyLink.
That kind of dedication and consistency says something all by itself about you. So thanks for serving us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So I was on the Tavares City Council for 10 years. We went from an any town USA type of town to a destination with the things that we have done through that city, and we can do the same thing here in Lake County.
I know that particularly for that area of the county, obviously the county's changed a lot. I've only been here 20 years. But I know that Tavares has really kind of been one of the leaders in updating the city and providing a more inviting downtown, the refurbishment of what was done up there on the waterfront. So you know an awful lot about development, wise development, and bringing some change around. What do you see as the county's biggest challenge?
So there's a couple of them. I was on the Economic Horizon Development team for the city of Tavares. So we need to bring some commercial businesses in here. But workforce housing is one of the issues that I see, especially down here in South Lake, where people who are working just can't afford to live. We need to continue with the programs and assist with the programs for workforce housing.
Do you find that really? I mean, you're in business. You're not just sitting in government. You're in business.
Right.
And do you see this in your business? I know I hear this from business people all the time because I work very heavily with the Chamber of Commerce, South Lake Chamber of Commerce. I hear this all the time. I actually had somebody that said to me, Joe, if they show up on time and they don't stink, I'll hire them. And I think that says a lot. Do you see this issue? And of course, they all are going through some level of, what's the word I want? Turnover because of that issue. Because they can't afford, somebody's only a renter and they can't afford the rent. They're going to move someplace that they can rent and work.
Right.
So
that's right.
Do you see that in your business and among the businesses up in Tavares as well?
Well, I see some of it up in Tavares. Our business is actually renting residential, commercial, and industrial properties. So we try to assist so many people coming in to help them get on their feet, to where they can have a job and they can provide for their family in a safe environment. They can have dignity.
So, what do you think the solution to that is? Knowing that that's a problem, how do you think the county can handle that as far as the commission goes?
Well, the state legislature has this Sadowski
The Sadowski Fund. We've talked about it here quite a bit. Yes.
The Sadowski Fund. So
they can't seem to understand that it's the Sadowski Housing Fund.
Right. And they can't be stripping away from that housing fund. That needs to stay put. I think the House and the Senate are in some little angst about it now. Mm-hmm. But it needs to stay put so it can be brought back to us here who, when your real estate transactions happening, a little bit of your tax dollars goes to that fund. So it needs to come back to us so we can help our people.
Historically, it's how they justified that tax.
Right.
It was supposed to go into affordable and workforce housing.
Correct.
Is to make sure we didn't get into this spot. But
that we're in now.
Yeah, they've sucked up that money for 20 years. So now we're in the spot that the tax was supposed to alleviate.
That's right.
That's a whole separate conversation. You and I could probably talk about that for days.
Yes, sir.
About the purpose of government and how they constantly break their promise, which is actually a good subject. Why do you want to run for office? I mean, today's environment, even on the local level, it's got to be hard to be a conservative and want to serve in an office.
No, not really. When you think about, I have the knowledge and the education level and the experience to help our county grow and help our county become better through positive thinking and through outside the box thinking. If you continue to do the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same results. So in the city of Tavares, we always thought outside the box. We said, well, what can we do over here that's better, that can help our community more?
I like that concept of outside the box. Can you give us a specific example of what you guys may have done there that might have countywide application?
Sure. So there was a assisted living facility that was going to go up in our medical plaza, and they didn't quite have the financial fortitude to do it. So we came up with a conduit financing program where it just funneled through. The city was not responsible for anything, but it just helped them with the interest rates that they were paying to help them facilitate the building of the building, and then they could become a vibrant business in the city of Tavares.
Which justified paying back the city because now they had a building.
Correct.
Which had some equity. That's a great idea. It's a great idea. How did you come up with these ideas? I mean, do you like have to, did you guys sit in a room spitballing, or do you have to bring in a team of people?
So truly, it's not just one person. You know, on the county commission or any city council, it's a group of 5, right? And then you have your city administrator and your department heads. So we in the city of Tavares, and I can only speak about the city of Tavares because I'm not in Lake County. I'm not in Lake County Commission yet, soon to be. We came together and had workshops. We had citizens workshops. We had department head workshops. We had our own little workshops to come up with ideas on how we can do it, like the seaplane base.
See, that's a great idea because I love that workshop concept, especially when you open it to the public.
Right.
So often we hear about city councils that have an idea they really want to push through, and they say, well, we're going to have a meeting. We've already made our decision. We're going to have a meeting that says we're listening to you,
right.
But doesn't matter what you say or how many people show up. We're going to do what we want anyway.
Correct.
Right? Look, we're going to go to commercial break. When we get back, we're going to talk about some more of these issues. We're going to talk about some of your qualifications,
okay.
Why you would run for office in today's environment. We're going to hear from our sponsors who we love to death. Look, got Kirby Smith with us today. You got to finish this. You should be an informed voter. You know how I feel about this. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Life is better when you're smiling. At Modern Orthodontics, Dr. Alan Wong has changed thousands of lives, helping patients achieve the modern smile with braces and clear aligners. Utilizing digital scanning technology, Modern Orthodontics creates in-office 3D models for clearly modern aligners. Modern Orthodontics is conveniently located in Claremont, Apopka, and Bushnell. Call or text us to schedule your free exam and create your modern smile today.
50 West, pre-leasing now in Claremont. A first-of-its-kind commercial development in the Southeast. Contact us today to reserve your spot in this historic development. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407-403-4165. Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767. Or visit lease@50west.com.
Your CBD store Claremont provides a wide range of high-quality, full and broad-spectrum CBD products. Topical creams, tinctures, water solubles, edibles, and even CBD products for your pets. From soil to oil, your CBD store Claremont sources and provides third-party lab tests for all products so that you know exactly what you're getting. Stop by your CBD store Claremont today to speak with one of our knowledgeable staff members to find the right CBD product for you.
Burgerum, located in the Epic Theater Shopping Plaza on Highway 27, is the premier destination for gourmet burgers. Using only the freshest ingredients, Burgerum offers a variety of burgers, salads, wings, and a whole lot more. Beef, chicken, lamb, fish, and even veggie. Burgerum has something for everyone, no matter your dietary preference. Burgerum, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
My name is Michael Singh, Agency Principal of Singh Insurance and Financial Services. We offer auto insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Our office number is 352-432-9700. 1646, and you can also check us out on our website at www.singinsurancegroup.com.
Are you tired of having drugs or alcohol ruin your life? Do you need to get off pain pills but still maintain pain relief? My office in Tavares has programs to help you. While not covered by insurance, program fees are affordable. My name is Alan Zupkin. I'm board certified and have helped thousands of patients achieve these goals. Please call me for further information.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. And welcome back. Shout out to the sponsors. Love you. You make stuff like this happen. Thank you very much. We are still joined by Kirby. Kirby Smith, candidate for District 3 Lake County Commissioner. I want to say thanks so much. We're having a great conversation. You know, before the break, we were talking about some of the out-of-the-box ideas you used when you were in Tavares and how you'd like to bring that to the commission. One of the ideas that you had was, or that you guys worked with, was the workshops.
Correct.
The voter
Correct.
workshops. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So in 2008, before I was on city council, the city understood. We had buildings that had boards up on the side of them. It was right in the middle of a recession. Things weren't looking great, and then we said, well, we need to figure out what the community wants. So we had community workshops over a course of 2 years, which actually branded our city. The citizens of Tavares actually thought of and bought into and brought up America's Seaplane City. When I was a kid, I was like, America's Seaplane City? I've seen one seaplane in 20 years. I don't know. But, you know, we tried it and we said, well, we're going to take a calculated risk. So we built a seaplane base, we built a marina, and we started our America's Seaplane City. After the first 10 years, we had 15,000 seaplane landings, which is a great economic boom for all the restaurants. Today, we're probably around 37 to 38,000 seaplane landings, and that's families coming in, landing, going to the 3 new hotels that were built since 2009, eating at all the restaurants that are in our entertainment district downtown. So I think when you get the community involved, you get great ideas and everybody can support it and be just a part of doing what's best for everybody.
Do you know, it seems one of the things that has identified Lake County in general, but South Lake in particular, is that concept of reinvention. You know, there really was, surprisingly, it actually took the last recession to make it happen. Of course, I know some of the municipalities have had plans in the works for 20 years, but the recession kind of stopped some of them. Was it a lot of the themes of the cities dated from the 20s and 30s? I'm sure the Seaplane City was one of those from the heyday of amateur airplanes. You know, when an airplane was cheap and you could build it yourself and land on any cornfield you wanted,
right,
the Seaplane City probably became through. But you guys managed to reinvent yourself and modernize that concept, whereas many of the other municipalities find that they have to go in a different direction because they're not the city they used to be. Do you think that you guys did that? Did the populace want that because they just liked the idea, or they saw the potential, or was it a little bit of nostalgia built with the desire to improve?
Well, for the seaplane aspect of it, the city of Tavares actually had one of the first seaplanes land on its shore in 1912. So we actually had a seaplane history. We try to preserve our history by reflecting back. So we built a train station, a brand new train station that was a replica of an 1880 train station in downtown. So we're doing things that are new and innovative, while maintaining our historic value.
Now, Tavares also is the. Now we're talking a lot about Tavares, but there's a point here. The Tavares also shares the county seat with the county.
That's correct.
So the jail is there.
Yes,
the
sir.
county offices are there. I don't think it's the county seat.
It is the county seat.
It is the county.
It is the
seat.
county
It's
seat.
the county seat. The county government is there. Has that provided other challenges for you?
It has, but it's also provided opportunities. In 2009, the county buildings were spread out all throughout downtown. So we made a concerted effort to start moving all the county offices and buildings into a certain section on the west end. So it's a defined county space.
So they were localized.
Correct. But the county, there's thousands of workers that work there. They eat, they get gas, so they go to the grocery stores. So it's also an economic engine for us, as well as it's kind of nice just to walk down the street.
Which leads me to my question. The county seat, Tavares enjoyed a unique position during the recession, during the economic downturn, that they had a government employee engine, economic engine, helping prop up. So maybe they didn't see as much. Those workers were still going to lunch. Those workers were still using the gas station. They may not have lived in Tavares, and many of them did, but they were coming there and they were spending money. Maybe not what we wanted. Again, everybody was being careful. How do you think that's going to apply countywide? I mean, I know here in South Lake, one of the struggles we tend to have is, as a community, many people don't voice this, but I hear it a lot. They feel like we're the redheaded stepchild. That because of the Golden Triangle and the villages, people don't understand that we're one of the best things in all of Central Florida. As a matter of fact, the mission of not only my show but the station is to change us from being this invisible community to people realizing we are one of the shining gems in Central Florida. How do you think that will? How can you help change that as a city commission, as a county commissioner?
So I think you're already doing that with your national training centers down here. You're becoming, this area is becoming a mecca of sports training for all sorts of professionals. All we have to do is promote that economic development and get our promotions out there. It just seems that we need to have our economic engines all over. So Claremont, Groveland, with your sports and your trails, we're getting there. We just need to voice it out to the people.
So, and I'm going to ask the same question though. Once you're on the county commission, you'll be representing us as part of your district, and the question that I have is, I know a lot of organizations, particularly that work around the country, not specifically the commission is actually probably one of the best for including South Lake County, but the other auspices of the county tends to put so much up there. I mean, I see this in businesses and organizations all the time. They're going to have a meeting, they have it in Mount Dora. It never occurs to them to come to Claremont because it's so far for everybody, but nobody considers that for us to go there, it's the same 45 minutes. Why don't we do? How can we change that so that South Lake gets I don't want to say a bigger slice of a pie, but more of its fair share of the county pie?
So District 3 is a little north of here. I would make like I did when I was on my council seat. If there's an issue down in South Lake, you need to come down and see it. You need to come down and see what the issue is. I'm the guy that kind of manage by facts. If you can't manage by facts, if you don't know what the facts are, then how can you make an informed decision on what you need to do? So I pledge that whenever there's an issue in South Lake, although our district's up there, every county commission votes on every issue. I pledge that I will understand that issue and make the best informed decision possible.
Well, we appreciate that. I know that, again, working through the Chamber of Commerce and several other organizations, it does mean a lot to us when the county commissioners show up, and I can tell you, Sean Parks is legendary here, because he shows up.
Yep.
Wendy has enjoyed some of that reputation because she shows up, and I would encourage anybody who runs for office not just to show up when the election's going on,
right?
Because we have had those in the past. I won't use names. Let me ask you briefly, because I know we're starting to get low on time. What do you think what qualifies you the best? I mean, what in your past or what in your experience qualifies you the most for this seat?
Well, being a senior manager in a corporation, being a private business owner, having to understand budgets and workforce and all that stuff. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration, and I've had 10 years in governmental operations that I can understand where to go. We need leadership on the county commission. I have that leadership ability. I have the tenacity and the knowledge and the experience to help us move in a forward, progressive way.
All right. I really appreciate that. Well, let me ask you this, and I warned you about this question. What's next? What do you think is where do you want to go from here, other than win the election? Right to the city council. That's where you want to go.
County commissioner.
I'm sorry, county commissioner. Dumb question, right, Joe? What's next for you, man?
So I hope that I can just help us be better. We have a slice of heaven right here in Lake County and in South Lake. People come here to enjoy this. We need to ensure that our environment's protected. We need to ensure that our roads are fixed. We need to ensure that our first responders are taken care of. They have the equipment they need to do their job. I mean, I'd hate to call 911 and no one show up. So I see that with my leadership ability that we can do those things, and then we can move forward in a positive direction.
Is there anything that's top priority for you that if you got elected, it'd be the first thing you jump on and work on? I mean, what is that thing?
So on my pamphlets, and I think it was on the screen earlier, I have 5 priorities. Lower the taxes.
Thank you.
Increase the reserves. Lower taxes, increase the reserves.
Oh, we brought your thing up here.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so
increase reserves.
Increase reserves. Protect our environment. Fix our infrastructure, and make sure our first responders are taken care of.
I love that whole concept. You've actually touched on the things that Joe Knows South Lake as a show and as a person. One of the main things I'm passionate about my community, and I'm insistent about people. I bore people to death when this comes up. Is that we support so much our small local businessmen, our small community people, but part of that community is those first responders. I many times think that people don't see our fire and police, and I will include even our doctors and nurses and emergency room personnel as somebody who serves us, but they're not part of us, which I don't get. But mom and dad served me, but I didn't think they weren't part of the family, right? So I appreciate you saying that, and of course the roads and all of that other stuff lays into it. And of course, if you tax people to death, I can remember one of the things I was most angry about was when the county commission raised taxes last time.
Correct.
And they came out and it was so inauthentic that they announced they were going to do a 20% increase. Everybody knew they didn't really intend to increase taxes 20%. And then, a bunch of us showed up. I will tell you, and Jay's giving me the time sign, so I'll keep it short. They had a meeting during the day and filled the hall with people who were paid to be there. And then they said that people who are opposed to the taxes must not care. I don't even remember the name of the commissioner's name, but he made me so mad I could barely, I was spitting mad. He said, well, obviously people don't care about this, about us raising the taxes because they didn't show up. And several of us stood up and said, well, those of us that are most affected by your tax increase are working.
That's right. So you can do these things without raising taxes. You have to drive efficiencies through the organization. I have the ability and the knowledge to do that.
Let me tell you, credit where credit is due. Leslie Campione was the only one who held the line, came up with a proposal that they could do everything they wanted without raising taxes.
Right.
And, of course, we know what happened there. Right. Anyway, so that's my soapbox. Thank you. I trust that you're not going to be one of those commissioners that comes in, says no new taxes, and raises them. You seem like a guy who has some integrity. Obviously, you couldn't have served where you did as long as you did without that integrity. I really, really appreciate it. What I'd like you to do is look in here. This is your camera. Tell the people if they want to volunteer for your campaign, if they want to vote for you, if they just have questions about the race, how to get in touch with you, and what's the best way to take care of all that.
Well, thank you for listening. My name is Kirby Smith. You can go on my Facebook page, Kirby Smith 2020. I have a website, kirbysmith2020.com. And I'm just here asking for your vote. August 18th, Kirby Smith. Please vote for me.
All right. Great. Thank you, Kirby. You've been a great guest, man.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you. Look, I just want to remind you that this is your 2020 headquarters for elections this year in South Lake. If you want to know what's going on with the elections, we have Wendy Breeden coming in, the incumbent, on Friday. Next week, I have Alan Hayes. Wow, that went out of my head fast. Alan Hayes, Lake County Supervisor of Elections, is going to be with us. He's going to talk about some of the races. We are booking candidates as fast as we can reach them. If you know a candidate or you are one, give me a call. If you know somebody that should be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, let me know. I know Jay has the information up there. If you disagree with me about anything I said on the show today, reach out to me. We can have a conversation. We can have a cup of coffee. You never know. We might not agree, but we'll certainly build a relationship and therein change the world. Finally, I'd like to remind you that like Kirby has been using his greatness to bring out the greatness in others for over 20 years in business and in government, serving his community. You too have greatness inside of you. I encourage you, use your greatness to bring out the greatness in somebody else. Touch a life, change the world. This has been Kirby Smith, candidate for District 3, and Joe Carlisle with Joe Knows South Lake. I will see you tomorrow, and I really do love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe Knows South Lake. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors: